Good evening and welcome to Little Chute, where tonight it's a Northeastern Conference prep football battle as the Tigers of Wrightstown take on the Mustangs of Little Chute. It's homecoming night for the Little Chute High School as well. I'm Dick Napinski along with Zach Morris tonight to bring you the action between these two teams, each with one loss in the Northeastern Conference. So this game very important as we reach the halfway point of the high school football season. And we'll be back with interviews with the head coaches. First of all, coming up with Ted Evers of Little Chute. That's right after this on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make two bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
Here with Wrightstown head football coach Steve Klister before tonight's Wrightstown Little Chute game. And Steve, a little bit of bounce-back game for you this week. What are some of the things you tried to clean up from last week against Freedom?
Cut down on the turnovers. We had 5 turnovers last week, a couple that were pretty costly. One inside our 20 and one that they returned for a pick 6. So just got to take care of the ball tonight.
One thing, of course, Wrightstown seems to plug in new bodies. There's a tradition there, a program there. Talk about the maturation of this year's team from the first day of the season, where you are now.
I really like where our offense and defensive lines are. They're doing a really nice job. Our focus is to run the football, and we've been pretty successful doing that. Hopefully with a slick track, we can do that again tonight.
And finally, Little Chute, another proud program, a very young team this year. What are you looking for out of the Mustangs tonight?
They got some skilled players, real similar to Freedom. They can throw the ball around. They have guys that can get to the edge, and hopefully with the slippery track that'll prevent that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for the time, Steve. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll be back right after this.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
We're here before Little Chute Wrightstown football tonight with Ted Evers, Little Chute first-year head coach. And Ted, one loss in the middle of the Northeastern Conference race, but a very young team too. What has developed for this squad so far?
Well, we have been playing pretty good defense all the way along, and our offense has been progressing nicely week to week. So hopefully that progression continues tonight, and hopefully we continue to play good defense.
Yeah. When you take a look, you have a sophomore quarterback there, but a young guy who's got some talent. Tell us about the maturation of the offense so far this season.
Well, we have a new offensive coordinator. We're doing a lot of similar stuff from last year, but we're doing some new stuff as well. So it's been a process, there's no doubt. And we have a lot of young guys, and that's added to the challenge. However, they are definitely answering the challenge, and they're getting better each week.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Wrightstown tonight, always a tough program, always a tough game against them. What are you going to see out of the Tigers? What do you have to do tonight?
Well, let me just say, I have the utmost respect for the Wrightstown program. Steve Klister and his staff do a fantastic job, and they are definitely going to stress us tonight. Obviously, they like to run the football, and if we can stop their run, which is easier said than done, we have a shot. but easier said than done, but we'll try our best.
Well, thanks a lot for the time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
And we'll be back right after this.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
We are back at Little Chute, just a couple minutes away from the start of this one between Little Chute and Wrightstown Northeastern Conference matchup. Both these teams chasing freedom. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you here this evening. First concern we have, looking toward the west, taking a look toward the weather, Zach. Making sure the thunderstorms stay away because there are some games in the Valley right now that are being delayed.
Yeah, one of our games over on 95.3, 99.1 the score, currently in a lightning delay. So there is concern, and that is the problem because you get all these players warmed up, ready to go, and then you have to sit for a while till the lightning storms are out of the way. Yeah, that is a big concern, especially for the team that gets out with that big lead early on, because the big concern is you go back to that Super Bowl where you have that long delay that gives the other team to get planning and try to get momentum back.
Yeah, and let's talk about these two teams. Very different offensive philosophies. Wrightstown, they are a run-oriented offense. You try to make them pass. They are very, very good, have two outstanding running backs, Jeremy Van Zeelen, Ben Yeager out there, each with more than 500 yards on the season. That's going to be tough to stop, just the different looks they give you out of that run game.
And that's the big thing. When you have a good running team, how do you stop it? You have to make sure everyone commits their assignments, from the linebackers to the linemen, because if your linemen get held up at the line, that makes your linebackers struggle, not sure where to go because you didn't clog up the offensive linemen, and then same thing for safeties.
And meanwhile, for Little Chute, a young team, but they like to throw the football.
That's the big thing in high school. If you can start throwing the ball and make some passes early on, that momentum can build early in the first quarter and maybe a successful offensive outing into the second half.
And you take a look at Little Chute, it's Cade Van Asten, who's a 6'4", 170-pound quarterback, but he's just a sophomore. He's learning. Did not throw any kind of interceptions the first few games, through 3 last week. So he's still developing his game, but everything we've heard from the Little Chute coaches said he is a guy who loves to study the quarterback position and learn each game and just build on it.
And that's a big thing, too. If you can develop a sophomore already, having that instinct of trying to get better and better. I mean, when you're a sophomore and you start on varsity level, there could be ego issues, too. You never know because you made it to that stage. You think you have everything figured out, but it's nice to see that you have someone like Kay continuing to learn that position already as a sophomore.
As we take a look at the offense here, Tanner Effa making the start at fullback tonight, just the sophomore. We'll take a break here, and we'll be back right after this on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Oh, emojis. I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls. Just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you. She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Marie, you have prediabetes. Pre-diabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get pre-diabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for pre-diabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
We are back at Little Chute, just about set for the start of Wrightstown and the Mustangs of Little Chute in this homecoming game for the Mustangs. And we'd like to thank our sponsors bringing you this video stream tonight. That includes Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Julian Strategic Alliance Group, and Creative Imprint. They're supporters of high school athletics here in the Valley, and we very much appreciate their support throughout the entire season. Dick Napinski here with you this evening, and Zach Morris joining me up here in the Myron Construction broadcast booth. And Zach, we take a look. Both of these teams are chasing another team right now. The Freedom Irish has victories over each of them. It's something that they have to contend with. When you're the hunter right now trying to get back into the game, every game is important, especially with just 4 weeks left in the regular season.
Well, the nice thing about these two teams is they can just focus on the team in front of them, because you have to beat the next team to catch the Freedom, because if you lose tonight, that gets a whole lot harder and gives the other team the inside track. So this is a big game for Wrightstown and Little Chute. No matter how your season has gone so far, you had big losses. This is your chance to get everything back on track. You get a big win, as you mentioned. We're down to the home stretch. This is your chance to at least get the momentum back and build towards the postseason. Yeah, crazy thing about Wisconsin high school football is you start pretty much in the middle of August, and then now you're sitting here end of September. Everybody's thinking, oh, it's about midpoint of the season. No, they're just 4 weeks left, and playoffs start that third week in October already. As we look at the Wrightstown offense, they're being introduced out there tonight. One change in the offensive line tonight. Fabian Carson, the offensive tackle, is not in. He will be replaced by Sam Cousino, who is a big man. He's a junior, 6'2", 320 pounds, and that's an edge, and that's a concern for Ted Evers as well from Little Chute, because he looks at that lineup, and it's not only the running backs and the deception out of the run game, it's the fact that they have a very big offensive line. There's a lot of things you can do with the offensive line, and don't forget, they could pass, and they've been able to pass when they want to, because of the fact that you have great running backs. You're able to have that running game, and that play action is what's so deadly out of this offense, especially when they see that opening downfield. Yeah, taking a look at a couple of running backs here for the offense. Ben Yeager, the senior, 6'2", 215 pounds, already 566 yards on the year, 8 touchdowns. And Jeremy Van Zeelen, wearing number 30, another senior, 449 yards through 5 games, and he has 6 touchdowns already. The big one, Yeager had 158 yards against Freedom last week, but it was one of those situations. Wrightstown had the lead. Freedom came back. They can hit so fast with that passing game that they have that Freedom went ahead. And Wrightstown is a team, if they're down, it makes it more difficult, because they have to run 10, 12 plays to get a drive together to score. Yeah, that's the problem with their offense, is that you do lack the passing ability, that you don't have that quick strike opportunity, and that's what you sacrifice. But when you're Wrightstown and you're able to succeed running the ball so often, so many years, you stick with that game plan, because it can win you, and it takes maybe, 1 or 2 runs to change the whole complexion of the game. Oh, they can break open big ones. Ted Evers, in his first year at the helm, Brian Ruskowski went up to Ashwaubenon. He's now the head coach up there after leading Little Chute to the state Division IV semifinals last year. And that 12-1 record, the first conference championship they've had since 1986. So it was a big year for the Mustangs, but most of those guys graduated. So it's a very young team. We're going to see how it all pans out today. Little Chute coming out in the dark blue uniforms. See them parading out. They're going to be receiving the kickoff to start this first half of play. Again, we're keeping an eye on the weather. Some thunderstorms in the area, and if you see lightning, a lot of times there's a WIA rule. If you see some lightning within a certain distance, you've got to get off the field, take a break until that lightning is safely out of the area. So hopefully we will avoid that as we start things off here. Not that we want the delay, it's just we have to go by the WIA rules. That's right. Wrightstown in the white with the blue pants kicking off. They'll be kicking toward the north to start things off here at Fitzpatrick Field. Kick is away. It's a high one. Coming down around the 15-yard line, and it parks right there and instantly buried.
Trevor Golden making the tackle for Wrightstown to start things off, and they will get started just at their 16-yard line. And this will be interesting. We're going to see the sophomore quarterback. I've not seen him so far this year, but he's a good one. Cade Van Asten, 52 of 90 so far this year, 7 touchdowns already on the season.
Good start to your big year junior season, I mean, it's a sophomore season, and a lot to build into next year, but it's amazing what the experience you can learn just as a sophomore, and get a successful season, your junior and senior years will be set.
The sent Jake DeBruin back there with 242 yards rushing against Wapaka last week. In the pistol formation, DeBruin's going to get it straight ahead, trying to pick his way through it. He's got some running room out around the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Just a straight ahead play. Good blocking from that front line. Sam Zamudio, Nate Hitbis, Nick Wiegand, Carter O'Brien, and Brent Glaudemans.
Now, everyone says the passing attack is the thing you want to go because it's quick strike. Well, that's a quick strike for a first down in the running game. And if you can rip these 12, 13-yard carries, that's even better than a lot of incomplete passes that you do see in a air raid kind of offense.
Tate Huss coming out wide to the right side for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 at their own 30. Ball dropped, and landing on it is Van Asten.
You wonder the fact that we had rain earlier throughout the day before we showed up, and how does that stick with the field and the rest of the ball conditions as well?
It might be a little bit slick. It also looked like Van Asten may have snuck a quick peek over the top of the line, seeing what the defense looked like as the snap came to him. Into the game for Little Chute, we see Tanner Effa. He's getting the start. You may see Nolan Lamers also running the ball. He's the top returning rusher this year out of that solid group from 2018. As we mentioned, went to the state semifinals. Van Asten calling out, man in motion. Handoff will go out, taking a look, trying to get around the corner, and still picking his way out there. Finally getting out there, Jacob Wiegman. Or excuse me, that's Tim Peters. Peters, the junior. Trying a bit of the fly sweep, but no go on that one. Good pursuit by the Wrightstown defense.
Well, tough start for Little Chute, knowing that you had the fumble, which is kind of like having that false start and lost it down, and that can hold back a drive, especially the first play of the game was a nice run for a first down.
Yeah, now you've got a 3rd and 15. It's going to be airborne probably for the Mustangs. Experienced defense back there, too. Riley Likett, Ben Yeager, Mason DeCleve, who already has 2 interceptions on the season, and Luke Renard as your defensive backs. We see DeClean here on Huss on the right side. Van Asten is back taking a look, trying to get rid of the ball, looking downfield, looking for anybody out there. He's just going to run out of bounds, be pushed out right around the 19-yard line. In pursuit was Caleb Ritter.
And that's a smart play by a young quarterback. Maybe hasn't developed that part of the game where you try to see maybe an open receiver downfield and just try to hope that you put it in a spot where only your receiver can get it and not risking an interception. That's the difference when you see a senior-type quarterback compared to a sophomore.
Yeah, Tate Huss going back into punt formation on this 4th and 18. Wrightstown getting ready to receive around their own 40-yard line. Huss gets a good snap, and the kick is away. End-over-end kick coming down. And a fair catch called for very late. Jack Van Zeelen gets underneath it. Grabs it around his own 46, and that's where the Tigers will start off their first drive.
Well, good job by their defense. Held when they needed to. Had that 1 first down run. You're already starting to be on edge. It's homecoming night. You're starting to feel that maybe this is not a good start to this game, but a great job by the defense and aided with help with that fumble.
Yeah, you talk to a lot of football coaches in high school, and they know all the pageantry of homecoming, and everybody gets real excited. As football coaches, they hate homecoming just because there's all this stuff you got to think about, and people are thinking about other things other than football. But here we go, Wrightstown offense. Reed Romanesco at quarterback. He'll head off. That's Yeager trying to get the corner. Excuse me. That's Renard getting the call. Luke Renard gets a nice carry into Little Chute territory. They're going to mark that right around the 48-yard line, maybe give him the 47. It'll be a gain of 5 or 6, depending on where they mark it. Let's give him 6 on that, down to the 48-yard line of Little Chute. Reed Romanesco, the 6'3 senior, he's at quarterback. Doesn't throw a lot, just 9 of 25 so far this year. Ben Yeager, one of the running backs. Luke Renard, Jeremy Van Zeeland, also from the slot, can run the ball. Have that T formation. That man through. That's Renard once again. He's not going to get the first down. He'll be stopped right around the 45.
A good job by the defensive line. They got pushed early on, but held their ground to at least force a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Jake DeBruin in on that stop. Ryan Verstegen, watch him. He is a good one. Just a junior. First team all Northeast Conference last year, coming from the linebacker spot. And they're using him almost exclusively on defense. He's a really good athlete. Rob Hendrickson, the offensive coordinator, would love to have him, but boy, you want to make sure that you keep him fresh on the defense. He plays a little bit of rover, as does Tate Huss. 3rd and 1 for the Tigers at the 45 of Little Chute here in the first quarter. No score. Handoff going to Jeremy Van Zeeland, trying to get to the corner. He's going to slip a tackle and get the first down around the 42.
Seems a little risky at first, knowing you're stretching out the play. You're about 3-5 yards in your own backfield, but that shows you the execution by the offensive line, knowing where to make their seal blocks, and a great run there for Wrightstown.
Jeremy Van Zeeland, he's 3rd in rushing in the Northeastern Conference. 447 yards so far, 6 touchdowns. He had 108 against Freedom last week and a TD. Ball at the 41, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Flipping along at the 8-minute mark in this first quarter. Once again, Romanesco calling out the signals. T formation behind him. Handoff goes straight ahead, going to be stacked up right away. Now bouncing out and finally being thrown to the turf by a host of Mustangs.
Great resistance by one of the linemen for Little Chute. Almost went over the line of scrimmage when he heard the longer count. Was going to go over, but he held his ground and didn't touch any of the offensive linemen.
And that's an important thing. In high school, the neutral zone is the ends of the football. The ends of the football, if you break into that neutral zone, that's a penalty. You can't get back in time once you break into that neutral zone, either from the offensive or defensive line. No gain on the play by Ben Yeager. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Taking a quick swing pass. That's almost a lateral, but it goes out of bounds. Boy, if I'm a defender, I'm chasing that football, but it bounced out of bounds. They were intending it for Jeremy Van Zeeland.
Quick weather update, as I'm not a meteorologist, but I do my best looking at a radar. We seem to be in the clear. Everything is towards the south of the Fox Valley, so we should have clear sailing the rest of the way. But if a pop-up storm comes up, it happens.
That's all right. Over Lake Winnebago right now is a nice place for it. Let's get all these Friday night games in.
Well, big 3rd down. This is where you mentioned where you have a quarterback that doesn't pass too often. This might be a situation where Wrightstown will have to pass.
Yeah, pistol formation this time. They're sending Van Zeeland out to the left side. It's 3rd and 10. Ball at the 41 of Little Chute. Snap goes back. Romanesco taking a look. Fires it out there, and it's too far. Intended receiver out around the 36-yard line. That's Quincy Clister already. He's got 1 reception. It's for a touchdown this year. The junior from his tight end position, and looks like punt team coming in for Wrightstown.
Smart decision. You start playing the field position game of you allowed 1 first down for a Little Chute, but you'll take that chance.
Wrightstown so far, their only loss last week. They led Freedom 2014 early in the 3rd quarter, ended up losing that one 27-20. Otherwise, they've beaten Clintonville, Denmark, Fox Valley Lutheran, and Oconto Falls so far this year. FVL, a much improved team this year as well. Good snap on the punt. That one is away. Nice punt. It's got some height to it. Huss telling everybody to stay away. Now he'll come scoop it up around the 10, looking for some place to go, and will have not much area. Get up to about the 15 before he's knocked down there.
You have to have 100% confidence, and that ball is bouncing, to feel that you can corral that ball with defenders running all over you and not losing the ball on the tackle, because when they see that last second, they feel that ball might be a little loose, so a nice hit might knock right out of his hands.
The ball is wet. It's bouncing. You got guys coming toward you with malice in their hearts, and it just you got to have a lot of courage to pick that one up. Ball is at the 15-yard line. That's where the Mustangs will start. They started at the 16 their first time up. So not great field position for Little Chute so far tonight. Just inside the 7-minute mark in this first quarter. Handoff going straight ahead, trying to pick his way through. That looked like Nolan Lamers. He's not going to get much. I'm going to give him maybe 3 if we're lucky on that, just a push forward by the offensive line. Little Chute so far. They beat Marinette to start the season, then blanked Oconto Falls back on the 30th of August. Big win over Clintonville. Clintonville's been struggling the past few years in football. Lost to FVL. Ted Evers said, boy, we didn't play well that night back on September 13th. But a big win against Wapaka, 33-14 last Friday night. Cade Van Asten set to get the signals. Waiting for the football, handoff, going straight ahead. Quick turn, moving forward and being slapped down. That's Lamers once again. He's going to pick up a couple more. It's going to leave a third and about 4. Going to mark the ball between the 21 and 22-yard line. Halfway through this first quarter.
Well, a big moment here for Wrightstown. You're trying to play field position. This is the defensive stop you need. As for Little Chute, all you're trying to hope for is get a first down so you get out of that field position type game.
See if they go to the air on this one. They've kept it pretty much to the ground so far early on in their first 2 series. Van Asten taking a look this time. Under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, looking for someplace to go. Dodges a tackler. Now he's running up near the 30, up near the 32. Finally put down. And a first down for the quarterback, the sophomore Cade Van Asten. And that's one thing that both Rob Hendrickson and Ted Evers said. Cade Van Asten learns very well. He has to learn as a sophomore. Don't try to make the perfect pass every time, and don't try to keep the play going. Sometimes throwing it away or just taking off, picking up a few yards on the run are what you can do.
Well, it's great awareness knowing that you had all your receivers locked up with their defensive backs, and your offensive line gave you all the time in the world and a big open way to run for that first down.
Carson Weingard comes out wide to the right. Handoff goes straight ahead. That's Lamers trying to pick his way through. He's up to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. See Alex Hoffman in on the stop. Van Zeeland also helping out. I'm going to give him 4 yards on that. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Good job by Little Chute's offensive line, starting to get that extra push on the defensive front for Wrightstown. That's what you're going to need if you want to get a running game going against the Tigers.
It's a smaller offensive line, and when you start talking about 235-pound guys and saying, well, that's a smaller offensive line, you know, you're seeing guys in Wrightstown around 270 and 300 pounds. One big guy, Nate Hitpus, number 77 for Little Chute, he weighs in about 300. 2nd and 6, Van Asten taking a look back, looking for an opening, has it, pushes it forward, and that's going to be Tanner Effa, the fullback, catching that one out around the 39-yard line.
Smart play by a sophomore. It was a clean pocket, great pass protection by the line, and didn't try to get the first down and second down. It's only, you have another down to play with. You can take that shorter pass and cut the deficit in half. So instead of, if you're looking at a 3rd and 8, get it down to a 3rd and 3.
Effa getting the start tonight. That's his first reception of the year. Running the little cross, it's 3rd and 3 for the Mustangs. Fast-moving first quarter. Van Asten again pitches it out, has it to Huss. Huss escapes the tackle out to the 45, to the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. And nice turn by Tate Huss. He grabbed the ball, spun around, and escaped the tackle, got the first down.
A perfect example. Short pass on second down gets you a quick route right at the first down marker. And if that had to be a longer route, Wrightstown probably makes a tackle in that situation.
So another first down for the Mustangs. They're right at the 48-yard line. Talking to some of the coaches before the game, we'll talk about some of the changes coming next year to high school football as the conferences go away in the regular shape and form that we've known them in the past. Van Asten this time will hand off to Lamers. Lamers trying to get to the outside. Oh, he's going to be upended. That's Yeager on the play. He grabbed a leg, and that's a 2-point takedown right there after a gain of 1.
Speaking of conferences, just trying to explain people that what's going to happen is going to be a shock to a lot of people.
It is, because they're going to the pod system, these 18 pods of roughly similar enrollment. And for Northeastern Conference, talking to some of the Wrightstown coaches before the game, they're saying Menominee, Michigan is in their conference next year officially. There's a 7-team conference. They got Menominee, Michigan to come in. But Menominee, Michigan has to play 4 games against Michigan teams to qualify for the Michigan playoffs. And so we'll explain what happens then next. Van Asten ready to get the ball for Little Chute. They hand straight ahead. Lamers gets the call once again. He's across midfield down to about the 48, 49-yard line.
Great job by Wrightstown tightening up now on this running attack.
Getting up after making the tackle, that's Joe Hella. Hella, the junior, 220 pounds. So next year, for instance, Wrightstown will have to play Kingsford, Michigan, who is not in the conference, but it will count as a conference game because Menominee has to go play Michigan teams in order to qualify for their playoffs. So it's going to get a little bit complex. Very difficult job WIAA has because somebody's always the smallest school in the conference and wants to move around, and that's led to all the conference changes over the last 20 years. Van Asten rolling out toward his right, looking downfield, getting it out there. Bounces away, intercepted! Intercepted at the 38-yard line, picked off there, and brought back to about the 43. That's Jeremy Van Zeelen grabbed that one, and if you're a Little Chute fan, your nightmares of last night's Packer game as it bounced away from the receiver into the arms of the defensive back. Exactly what happened there for Wrightstown.
Yeah, tough break for the sophomore quarterback. It's not your mistake. You threw it to the receiver, unable to corral the ball and kicked it up into the air. And when a tip ball happens, that's why the tip drills happen all through summer for those scenarios. And great awareness by Wrightstown being able to get their hands on the ball, and a great return also.
Right at midfield for the Tigers. They shut down the Little Chute drive, which was starting to show some promise. 90 seconds left in this opening quarter. Once again, Romanesco waiting for the start. Backs offset toward the right. Direct snap goes off to Yeager. Yeager picking his way through on the right side. He's got some running room. Huss trying to drag him down. Finally does so at about the 34-yard line. Direct snap that time back to Ben Yeager.
And that is Wrightstown's version of a nice cross route catch and run.
Yep.
It's just that's the equivalent to Little Chute's offense.
Yeah, talking to Terry Shively, one of the assistants, former athletic director and longtime basketball coach at Wrightstown, still helping out. He's saying, you know, the wing T, the T formation is so rare now with teams going to spread offenses and pistol and shotgun formations that teams don't prepare for this throughout the season. They're preparing for a lot more spread offense. High snap to Yeager. He gets it again, but leaps over one man, gets inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line before he's buried by a group of Mustangs.
And that's why if you can master your craft running this offense, you don't want to change it because a lot of people struggle to stop you. So that's why you have Wrightstown that continues year after year running this kind of offense.
And you see it right there in the direct snap, Zach, that you're used to Romanesco there, and he stands there. Suddenly you have three backs, and the center can snap to any one of them and start the playoff. And in that particular situation, suddenly Yeager has two blockers from the backfield in front of him. Last 30 seconds of the opening quarter. Yeager waiting for the snap once again. That time it looked like Van Zeelen got it straight ahead. He'll get down to the 25-yard line. That'll be short of the first down by about a yard. And let's see if they let the clock run to end this first quarter. There's not a real sense of urgency here as we're in the final 5 seconds. And that will be the end of quarter number 1. No score between Little Chute and Wrightstown. You are watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen? Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
Back we are, ready for the start of the second quarter. No score between Wrightstown and Little Chute, but Wrightstown with the football. 3rd and 1 at the Little Chute 25-yard line. Getting set up once again. Van Zeelen gets the call off the left side. He's got the first down as he spins inside down to about the 22-yard line. That'll be a first down, 1st and 10.
Well, the running attack again for Wrightstown, working how they love it because they bring them all across the field, and this is how you have to figure a way to stop Wrightstown. You have to attack that running game and try to make them into those situations where you have to pass.
You know, official timeout on the field. If we have, it's Ben Yeager coming over toward the sideline. I don't know if he's got an equipment problem. So they're going to take an official timeout. And the coach is saying, no, you can't come over to the sideline here. So get back on the field. And we've got the managers digging through the equipment box. You know, probably something, chin strap. I know we packed an extra one here someplace. Big game in the Bay tonight. Menasha up at West De Pere. And let's take a look at the area schedule here. You see that one right now. West De Pere leads that one 7-0. But Shawnee Xavier, Wapaka at Seymour. Valley Football Association, Appleton East Accoquana. That one was in a delay. Hopefully they are underway. Appleton West at Kimberly tonight. Some big ones. Appleton North at Fond du Lac. That is probably the biggest game in the VFA tonight. Appleton North trying to make a statement against the Cardinals. Here, 1st and 10. Ball at the 22. Handoff goes to Van Zeeland. He gets spun around. Little Chute defense staying at home very nicely that time. A little bit of a crossbuck. Inside handoff. Yeager got the snap but handed it on the inside handoff to Van Zeeland. And only a gain of 2 for the Tigers.
And here's what's important for Little Chute. Can you get another stop and force the 3rd down where the Tigers have to pass? And this is how you make them stop using the running game. Continue to make strides on 1st and 2nd down. So 3rd is your opportunity to strike.
2nd and 8, just underway here in the 2nd quarter. About 1:20 gone. The full T backfield. Snap goes. Yeager looking for the corner. Gets down to the 15. It's going to be short of the mark by about 3 yards. But again, Yeager very patient that time, running toward his right, waiting for his blocking.
And that's how you can tell a very experienced running back in high school, where you're willing to wait for the blocks to develop. A lot of younger running backs just love to attack right away with a blocker or without.
Coming in for Wrightstown, we see Sam Hayes, the junior. You recognize that name. His father's Corey Hayes, the head basketball coach for the Tigers. He's the youngest of the 3 brothers. Hayes going out wide to the left side. Yeager waiting for the snap. Now timeout going to be wanted by Wrightstown. Something went afoul in the formation. And while they take a timeout, we will too. No score between Wrightstown and Little Chute. You are watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Getting set, 3rd down and a long 3, maybe 4 for the Wrightstown Tigers. They've been on the march since making that interception late in the 1st quarter. No score right now. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you from Little Chute tonight. You can tell we moved into the Northeastern Conference. Unlike the VFA, we're playing on real grass.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once you stretch out a couple, now will be different pods. Now, which pod is going to have more neutral grass or natural grass, or will have more turf?
That field turf that's so popular. All but 2 schools in the VFA now with field turf.
Maybe all even pods will have turf.
There you go. Van Zeeland hit near the line of scrimmage. Beautiful defensive play. Trying to see who made it. He went right into the crowd of his teammates after getting it, and you can always tell you do a good thing. Your teammates come up, hit you in the head.
Well, a great job by Little Chute. If you can't force them in non-running situations, just make the stop on 3rd down. But it'll be interesting now. It's 4th and 3. It's still doable for the running game because we've seen this running attack being able to gash them for big numbers.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're way too far out to try a field goal in high school. That would be the better part of a 35-yard try. But here we go, 4th and 3. Snap is a little bit of a high one, dropping back. Yeager throwing the ball, and that's going to be incomplete. Receiver fell down trying to cut outside.
Yeah, the receiver fell down pretty early in the route. I just think he was unable to see him before he got rid of that ball.
Yeah, that looked like Hayes out there. This field's a little mucky. As we mentioned, it's a grass field, and the rain earlier today certainly absorbed some of that water, so they're going to have to pick it up. But Little Chute with a big stop. Mustangs will take over.
I like the play call by Wrightstown, being able to try to get him guessing it, maybe send too many linebackers for the blitz and maybe strike with one of your receivers. We won't know if it would have worked or not because the receiver, again, this field is a little bit wet, as you mentioned, may have slipped him up there.
Yeah, Ben Yeager has thrown a few passes out of that formation so far this year. That time, though, no chance to get to the receiver. Instead, Little Chute takes over. Cade Van Asten at quarterback will hand it straight ahead, looking for someplace to go, trying to bounce it outside. He's got his man. That's DeBruin. DeBruin, Jake gets a run. He's on the move out to the 35. Finally shoved out of bounds there. Getting a hold of him and putting him out of bounds is Luke Renard.
And that's what Little Chute needed. It's coming off of that drive for the interception. You have momentum on a 4th down stop and a big run to get you near midfield.
Yeah, really a nice job, too, by DeBruin. He had his slot off tackle left, saw that was closed, bounced it to the outside, and used his speed. That's one thing Little Chute does have. They've got some nice athletes with some speed on this football team. Again, had the 11th best rushing night of anybody in the state of Wisconsin last Friday night with 242 yards, a couple touchdowns against Wapaka. 1st and 10, own 35 for the Mustangs. Van Asten will hand off to Bruin, trying the right side this time, trying to get to the corner. He's going to be corralled down after a gain of maybe 2. Van Zeeland out there to make the stop. Van Zeeland, he was an all-conference defensive back. They've moved him 6'2", 190. They kind of have him in a rover spot this year. It's one of those hybrid safeties that can step up and play linebacker. Tanner Effa checks back in for the Mustangs after a gain of 2. Clock continuing to run, 7:44 left till the halftime break. See Hunter Hermes coming out wide to the left. This time they're going to go with Huss. Huss trying to get to the corner. Wrightstown spreading it out nicely. Hopping up in the air and maybe getting 2 yards. It is Tate Huss before he's shoved out of bounds. Again, trying that fly sweep look. And it's going to leave about a 3rd and 5.
Well, it started out well for Huss. It was running with a lot of blockers, but no one was able to initiate a block because the speed of the Wrightstown defense doesn't really let that happen, and that's why the second time we've seen that type of play, it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, you're exactly right on that one, Zach. You could see Tate was looking for a cutback lane, never found one, so he took the 2 yards before going out of bounds. Now Cade Van Asten left with a 3rd. We're going to call it 6. They have to get just over the 45-yard line. Van Asten taking a look, firing, and it's knocked away. Good defense being played out there. Riley Like out on the defensive play, and he'll drop back now to get in a punt formation, but he was right on the receiver, never really giving a chance. It was right at the sticks. Even if been completed, been very close to the 1st down. Don't know if they would have made it.
Tough end for Little Chute. He had that big run, but it shows you the defense of Wrightstown. You allow one big play, they don't give up just because one play happened against them.
Haas back in punt formation, standing around his own 27-yard line. Waiting for the snap. Decent one. Kicks on the way. That's kind of a wobbler end over end. Ball bouncing around the 30, inside the 30. Finally going to be set down there. Putting a paw on it is Michael Rambo, the sophomore, wearing number 17. Tigers get it back now with 6:33 left in this opening half. No score between these two teams.
Speaking of Rambo, Last Blood coming out. Got to catch that last movie and that whole collection.
Yeah, at least we think it is.
Sylvester has to stop sooner or later,
yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
again, a great point you look at for Little Chute now, because you're in the situation where, yes, offensively you're not able to get past midfield, but your defense had that big stop, and you gave them some rest to come back out against this big offensive line for Wrightstown.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Mark it at their own 28. Direct snap goes off. That's to Van Zeeland. He'll crash forward across the 30, maybe out to the 32. I'll mark it at the 31. Gain of 3. And what Wrightstown does out of this T formation is they just wear you down. You run the same thing, and you have to make the same play again and again and again. And as soon as you fail to make that play, they're going to get a big gain on it.
And that's the thing with their offensive line. They're meant to wear you down. As early on the first half, your defensive linemen feel they're up for the challenge. It's that 3rd, 4th quarter where this gets difficult to stop.
Yeah, especially with the size up front. Here it is, 2nd and 7. And the ball is on the ground, but scooping it up is Van Zeeland. He'll be spun around, or excuse me, that looks like it might be Yeager. Yeager being pushed back after a gain of maybe 2. Yeager getting up slowly, and the referee calls it out, so Ben Yeager may have to come out for a play.
Well, that shows you that Wrightstown, they were lucky now on 2 scenarios where the ball touched the ground, but still able to corral it because both of those fumbles happened inside their own 30-yard lines.
Yeah, that's a major change, too, for high school centers over the past 20 years with the emergence of pistol and shotgun formations, direct snaps that, for the 30 years before that, if you were a center, you just popped it up behind your butt and the quarterback was right there and took it back and dropped back. Well, no more. It kind of harkens back to the early days of football when you had the box formation and you had to snap it a whole bunch of directions.
Well, I started playing high school football in 2007, and the fact that in that era, you rarely saw a shotgun. I mean, there would be 1 or 2 schools in your conference that would be, we're going to do something very taboo and start running this play action and all the shotgun and have 3, 5 receiver sets. And now it seems almost every team has it.
Well, and if you're a high school coach, you like tradition and you're wondering, do I have any kids that could snap it back 7 yards?
Correct.
Yeah. So, 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. They are at their own 32. Going back, Romanesco pitches it out to the outside. That's to Van Zeeland, and he manages to push forward. Boy, nice job by Jeremy Van Zeeland pushing forward to get the first down out at the 39. It looked like that one was going to be stopped.
And that's another thing about a lot of these Wrightstown players. They have that extra push. So when the offensive line is holding onto their blocks, they can't get any more push. That's where the offensive receivers and running backs finally make that last and final push to get the first downs in those situations.
At the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. We're inside 5 minutes in this opening half. No score between the Mustangs and the Tigers. Tight formation once again. Direct snap comes back. You see Yeager's back in there, and he's gets away from one tackle, cuts it back in, still on his feet, out around the 48-yard line before he's finally upended out there. Jake DeBruin in on the stop. It's going to be a couple yards short of a first down, but a nice gain. And again, Yeager picking his way through. A couple Little Chute players had a hand up there, but you're not going to bring Ben Yeager down with one arm.
So now for Little Chute, you're looking at it where can you at least make this drive stop around the 25-yard line? You still have a few downs, a series of downs before you enter that situation, but you have to realize you can't let this drive continue.
Wrightstown with 2 timeouts. Used one a little bit earlier. Again, tight formation, waiting for the snap. This time it's going to go to Van Zeeland. He'll crash forward, and he'll have enough for another first down into Little Chute territory. They'll mark it at the 47 of the Mustangs. Quick change for Little Chute with some defensive players. Gavin Frisch back into the game. Jacob Klicka also in there. We've got the whole homecoming spiel coming up at halftime here. It is homecoming, as it is this time of year for a lot of schools. 1st and 10, 47-yard line of Little Chute. Wrightstown with the football. Receivers split out both right and left. We've got a flag. Yeah, somebody from the Mustangs stepped in. Snap went to Yeager, but it's not going to happen. I think it's a quick 5 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's where the referees are pointing for the initial call.
Dead ball offside. Move it down. Little Chute defense has played well. You don't want to start giving it away here late in the first half. 3:31 left till the break.
This is not an offense, Dick, where you want to give another 5 yards on a first. In 4 tries, this offense will get 5 yards.
Yeah, they got a lot of options at that. So Wrightstown taking their time. Now break the huddle. Romanesco lined up in the backfield. But Yeager with the football. He's going to throw it deep. Long goes up, and a flag. Yeah, it's going to be interference. They were trying to go to Van Zeeland deep down the far sideline. Defensive back was there, a little bit of hand play first, but then it got into the bodies bumping, and that's where the flag came from 2 officials. This is not reviewable, by the way.
And talking about
Thank goodness.
reviewable situations. Big situation in Lambeau Field of multiple pass interference, as we call. But this is a tough thing to look at for Little Chute, where you're looking at the two the two quarterbacks in the backfield. The fact that you have a running back that can pass, and that wasn't a bad pass either.
No, that was a good pass. The defensive back was right there to make the play, just got tied up. And again, in high school, it is a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot penalty. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Romanesco and Yeager. Standing back, waiting for the snap. It's on the ground. Now that's Klister in the backfield, and we're going to have a flag on the play. I think somebody may have taken off early. There was a whole bunch of confusion on the Wrightstown side of the ball. Holding against Wrightstown. So what you do on that one, you take it from the spot of the penalty. If you're Little Chute, okay, do you want to push him back? It'll mean a first down, but 10 yards farther from the spot. So,
you have to take that one. But still, you look at for Wrightstown. This is the third time now they got lucky with the ball on the ground. Eventually, the ball keeps touching the grass. It's going to bounce the other direction. So far, they've been lucky on all of these loose balls.
Yeah, it'll make it a first down and approximately 26, because they lost some yardage on the play, and part of that play was negated by the flag. But now dropping back once again, Yeager throwing the ball out, and it's caught. Nice catch by Van Zeeland out along the far side. That'll get the ball back to about the 33-yard line. Clock will continue to run, 2:28 left till the break.
Important play on first down. He got a good portion of the penalty yardage back. Now can you get more and try to make it a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 opportunity?
Yeah, it's going to be about a 2nd and 19. And rather interesting here, Romanesco the starting quarterback, but Yeager's been doing most of the passing. Quincy Klister in the backfield as well with Yeager. Yeager gets it. He'll take it himself, but he's going to be corralled and brought down. Give credit. Brent Glaudemans comes up from his nose tackle position, does a great job. Crashes down and makes the stop. And that's a loss. We'll go back the other way. It'll be 3rd down and about 22.
Key here for Little Chute now is that you don't want a lot of yards on 3rd down to make them feel we might as well go on 4th down, where you want to keep them in a punting situation where they'd rather try to pin you deep than go into a 4th and 10 and say, we got a chance here.
Yeah, last 90 seconds of the first half. If you get a decent stop here for your Little Chute, do you call a timeout? Waiting for the snap is Wrightstown. Looking at 3rd and 21. Yeager's dropping straight back. He's being rushed, in trouble, trying to move around, clock running, and he throws the ball just up in the air, and it's going to be way around and knocked around, incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock. Yeager was all the way back around his own 40-yard line when he let that one fly.
And again, he may be the running back, but that was an impressive throw to throw all the way back at the 40-yard line and still giving your receiver a chance at the ball.
Yeah, Mason DeClean was the guy running downfield. He had 3 defensive backs, still tried to go up over the top.
After that throw, you may decide, might as well have Yeager give it one more toss.
Might as well. I mean, you're 4th down. If you punt it, you put him back in territory, and the clock probably just runs out. Here, you've got a shot. So let's see how they set it up. DeClean is about a 6'3" receiver. He comes to the near side. Van Zeeland goes out to the far side. And we're going to have a timeout. I believe Wrightstown is going to call a timeout here with 1:08 left. We'll keep it right here for this final 1:08. But, Zach, we were talking a little bit about the changes coming to high school football next year with the pod section and the 8-team groups that they put it in. Every team is going to have a different look, and some of the rivalries will be going away because you won't have that non-conference game any longer. You'll have a 9th game or an 8th and 9th game. Maybe you can pick it up there, but they're trying to work the schedules out. Do you play your non-conference games early on, then just go 7 conference games to finish up the season? All of that is still open as they put it together.
And I wonder if you're going to see more Saturday games in the long run. The fact that you're going to have teams going all over the place trying to get games, it's hard to tell your school every week for every Friday, hey, it's 11 a.m., we got to get going.
Yeah. And some of this is really built on, you have the situation with the Valley Football Association where you've got the Wisconsin Valley Conference with 5 similar teams that had to travel 200 miles to get a non-conference game. Here we go, 4th down, 21 yards to go. Snap goes back, Yeager taking a look, looking for somebody going open, and he's throwing it downfield toward Huss, and it's slapped away. Nice job by Tate Huss from his rover position, going back with the receiver. That once again was Mason DeClean.
Another great pass, and you're starting to wonder why they're not letting him pass around. He wasn't such a great running back, and it was a great play by the defensive back, being able to tip it away at the last moment.
And what Huss did, Will, he didn't stop. He ran with the receiver even as the ball was in the air. Sometimes defensive backs in high school will stop, take a look where they are, and then try to find it. By that time, it's too late. But he kept running with the receiver, and when DeClean looked up, so did Huss, and he tapped it away. So Little Chute hasn't had the football for a while. Cade Van Asten will bring it out. There's exactly 1 minute left in this one. Definitely a spread formation, 2 receivers out to the left side. A lot of movement and Wrightstown defense trying to throw some confusion out. Instead, they'll go out to DeBruin. DeBruin along the sideline gets shoved out of bounds. You get back to the line of scrimmage, that's it. But clock will stop with 53.4 remaining in the first half.
Not sure where the field goal range is for Little Chute, but in this type of game, if not much, no scoring in the first half, is this going to be the same story in the second, or will the offensive line of Wrightstown wear down the defense of Little Chute? So you look at it, can you get 3 points and just have a lead and the confidence going into the third quarter?
Yeah, Carter Pinnenberg's 0 for 1 so far on field goals this year. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. They're at their own 37. Van Asten taking a look, still bouncing around in the backfield. Fires it down, and the pass, I believe, is going to be too low. Intended that one for Logan Lex. Lex, the senior. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 10. 6 seconds have ticked off the clock on that one. And if you Wrightstown, you say, okay, incomplete pass helps us. It's better than using a timeout.
Yeah, but the only negative now in this situation for Little Chute is you're now at a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and you have to find some way. You've got all 3 timeouts left, so if you manage to pick up 8 yards, you might want to call one here. Van Asten set to go. They're going to hand it off to DeBruin. DeBruin looking for some place, gets out to the 40-yard line. And timeout called by Wrightstown. They'll use their last one.
It's not a bad idea. You look at the situation. Can you try to force something out of nothing? Either a bad punt, maybe block a punt, and all of a sudden you're with that big lead going into halftime.
It will be punt formation. Tate Huss will be standing back there getting ready to kick. Yeah, this has been the slugfest that we figured it might be. Timeout on the field, and halftime will review the first half. No scoring as of yet.
Should be a quick halftime recap with the long halftime gap we have.
It should be.
So I'm expecting to see a lot of heat coming on this block attempt to knock it on this punt for Wrightstown.
Yeah, Tate Huss been waiting for a good snap. Let's see if he gets one. 4th and 6. Ball at the Little Chute 40. Snap's a good one. Kick is away. Kind of a wobbler. Hitting down and parking around the 40-yard line. Wrightstown just going to leave it alone. Stops around the 27-yard line after the bounce. That's where Wrightstown will have it. They have no timeouts left in this first half.
The big question is, you let Yeager pass or let Yeager run?
Well, we'll take a look here and see what they might have in mind. Or do you just kind of slam it into the line a couple of times and then make your adjustments at the half? Big game in the NAC for these two teams. Fox Valley Lutheran also with just 1 loss. All 3 of those teams chasing freedom, which is unbeaten. There you go, the snap. That's Yeager. He's going to take the quarterback draw, and he is ripped down right away. The big guy, Nathan Hitpas, came in, 5'11", 300-pound senior. He said, Mr. Yeager, no, you're going to stay right here. Clock running, 15 seconds remaining in the half. We'll see if Wrightstown calls another play. Doesn't look like they have a great deal of energy toward doing that. And that's going to be it for this first half. No score between the Wrightstown Tigers, Little Chute Mustangs here at Little Chute. So we're going to take a break, too. We'll be back to talk about this first half of play before taking our halftime break, but we'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I'd like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Back we are in Little Chute. There is no score between Wrightstown and Little Chute after the first half of this one. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you. And Zach, we saw everything that we thought we would see. These two teams know each other so well and know what they have to do to defend. And Ted Evers said, we have to play well. Defensively, they have played very well so far.
Well, I think Coach Evers would take this. I mean, it's a great situation that you're tied. You haven't allowed the big problems on defense. Your defense was able to regroup after your offense, your sophomore quarterback had a tip pass, which led to an interception. And as far as for Wrightstown, you're able to move the ball, but just can't get beyond that 30-yard marker, and that's been the struggle for them. And great job by Little Chute holding on for dear life on the back end of their defense and trying to at least get something going into the third quarter on their homecoming night.
Yeah, and if you're Wrightstown, you can kind of reset here at halftime. You get the ball to start things off in the third quarter, and you can just run your playbook. I mean, it's an even game. You're not behind, and you can chew up a lot of third quarter and put a drive together to try to get that first score.
Oh, yeah, I mean, your dream scenario for Wrightstown coming out of the half is there's 4 minutes left on the clock, and you're up 7-0.
Yeah, that's about it. Their defense is pretty good. But we are at halftime here of homecoming at Little Chute High School, so it's going to be an extended halftime. So there's a little more time on the clock. We're going to take a break as well. We're going to look around the area, see if we can pick up some other halftime scores, bring those to you as well. And we will return in about 15 to 20 minutes with the second half of play between the Tigers and Mustangs. So stay with us. We'll be right back in about 15 to 20 here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Back at Little Chute, where we have no score at halftime in this matchup with Wrightstown and the Little Chute Mustangs. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting high school athletics. Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Julian Strategic Alliance Group, and Creative Imprint. Thanks a lot for their support to bring you these games throughout the entire 2019 football season. Now, Zach, we discussed this a little bit at halftime while we're on the break. Little Chute said, we got to play well against a very good Wrightstown team, and they have done that so far. And both these teams trying to find their way a little bit, putting some things together, but nobody's really been able to establish the momentum.
And that's been the hard part. You had Wrightstown coming off an interception. All right, you're having some momentum being built. You're getting first downs, and then the drive just stalled inside the 30-yard line. So you're in that situation if you're Little Chute. All right, let's get the offense on track. Had one nice run, and then it stalled there. I mean, this is just one of those good old defensive games. And the problem is when these games happen, you just don't expect it.
That's right.
It just happens. It's like you go back to the Packers-Bears. No one expected that happening. It just happens. And same thing with shootouts. We've seen multiple shootouts in high school football. It's just these defensive ones are just rare because everyone's so driven to making your offense a high-scoring machine.
Exactly. Well, we're going to take a quick look at some of the scores here. At halftime, West Appear leading Menasha 28-14. Getting toward the end of the second quarter, Kaukauna now has a 7-3 lead over Appleton East. Appleton North Fond du Lac, that game was delayed by lightning. It started at 8 o'clock, so they are just underway at Fond du Lac right now. And just taking a look at some of the other scores around the area. And again, some of the games have been in a delay. And so they may be a little bit late starting. Some down the Milwaukee area actually started early tonight, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, knowing that the weather was going to be coming in. Fond du Lac Springs leading Manitowoc Lutheran. 9 minutes left in the first quarter, 7-0 Springs. They are in a lightning delay down there as well as of about 20 minutes ago. So, again, weather playing some havoc. Usually we have that in August. Zach, sometimes seems like we always get a thunderstorm late August, first week of September. To have it this late in the season, a little bit unusual.
Correct. As we're still in September, trying to look at that last full day, officially turned to October, and you're into the fall. But, yeah, and this is that weird stretch. If it's after the game, you're trying to find scores across the league. If you don't see a lot of them, there's a reason why. They're just in a delay.
Carter Pinnenberg to kick off. On the way, coming down around the 10-yard line, going straight up ahead, trying to mash the way through. That looks like Jack Van Zeeland. It is. He gets out to the 31 before he's knocked down there, and that's where the Tigers will start. They put some drives together, and we saw a lot of interesting offensive sets out of them. Ben Yeager doing the majority of the passing from his running back position. Reed Romanesco, we didn't see much of him in the first half. Taking a look, he is in the lineup to start this third quarter. Defense straight up. Again, little extended halftime because of the homecoming here at Little Chute. Romanesco up under center, has the three backs behind him in the T formation. Handoff will go to Yeager. Yeager trying to get around the left side, being chased there, is going to be spun around, gets away from the tackle, but then knocked down right away after a gain of 2.
Again, the dream case scenario right now for Wrightstown would be you find yourselves up 7-0 and leave about 3-4 minutes left on the clock for the third quarter. But as for Little Chute, you have at least 3 sets of downs as they were able to do in the first half. Just keep them out of the 20-yard line, get them out of the red zone, and you have an opportunity to kill these drives before points are on the board.
Yep. Bennett Jensen on the tackle. 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Once again, Romanesco under center. Handoff going straight ahead, a push forward by the line. Now the shove backwards by the Little Chute defense. 6, which will leave a. Wrightstown coming into this, they're ranked in the top 10, both by WIS Sports in the Division 4 poll. They're ranked number 6, and in the medium schools, in the Associated Press poll done by the sports writers, they are ranked number 7 in the state. Had a nice start to the season, losing only to Freedom, and a lot of respect for the Wrightstown program through the years, too. 3rd and 5 here, Romanesco calling the signals. Looking for the inside handoff, gets bobbled around a little bit. That one's not going to go anywhere. Van Zeeland got the ball eventually after that little bit of a tie-up, but really no place to go on it whatsoever.
Big benefit for Little Chute on that bobble, because at that moment, all you care about if you're Wrightstown is maintaining that possession, not putting that ball on the ground again. So big break there for Little Chute.
Officially no gain on that play. Tate Huss dropping back to catch the expected punt back around his own 30-yard line. Getting set. It's Trevor Golden getting set to kick it away. Oh, that's a boomer. Got a lot of that one. But Huss able to pick it up around the 24. He'll try his left side, cuts it back in, slips on the turf, goes down around the 33.
Part of that field conditions from the rain earlier today.
Yeah, and this time of year, the grass stops growing a little bit too, so you've got a few dead spots out there. And when you have a turf field and you have teams practicing on it and so forth, and the JVs and the freshmen are playing on it, sometimes you've got junior high teams playing on it, it gets beat up. And this time of year, you get some moisture, and it can be a little bit slick. Think of the old Bonta Bowl down for Lawrence. By the end of the season, it was mostly painted grass, painted dirt. You could start a slide at the 15 and get all the way to the end zone sometimes.
That's called the home field advantage.
It is, yeah. Cade Van Asten, sophomore at the helm of the Little Chute Mustangs. Gets the snap. He's going to take it himself, look for someplace to go, cuts it inside. He'll get to the 35. That's about it. He'll be slammed to the turf by Alex Hoffman.
A lot of hesitation by Cade early on, and because of the hesitation, could not really see a lane to run through, and luckily to gain a yard.
Yeah, he's not known as a runner. He came into this game with officially 3 carries for 6 yards, but he also had 3 touchdowns, which leads me to believe that those were quarterback sneaks for the most part. Give him 2 yards on that one, 2nd and 8. 36-yard line of Little Chute. 3 minutes into this third quarter. Handoff goes straight ahead. That's Lamers. Nolan Lamers has an opening. He's out to midfield, across into Wrightstown territory before he's finally corralled by Jeremy Van Zeeland.
And there's that first big play in the third quarter that Little Chute needed on this offense to get the momentum rolling. And let's see if they can continue to build on that first down run.
I think one of the referees got caught up in the pile too. He's kind of stretching out a bit. That might be the umpire. If you're the umpire, you're in the worst spot any place on the grounds, because you are about 8 to 10 yards in back of the defensive line. And yeah, the trainer came out, took a look at the official, and you're getting crossing patterns, guys running at you, and you're just trying to stay out of the way. Put your best athlete at umpire. 1st and 10, Cade Van Asten now with the Mustangs in Tiger territory. They'll go straight ahead to Lamers once again. He's going to be spun around coming up. Van Zeeland comes up and seals things at about the 46, gain of 2 on that play. Now, we've seen Jake DeBruin on a couple big runs, but haven't seen a steady dose of them. Last week against Wapaka, gained those 242 yards on just 16 carries. That's about 15 yards a carry. That's not bad.
That's a great healthy average to have. You can maintain that for at least 2 to 3 weeks of the season.
2 receivers going out to the right side. That's Tim Peters and Tate Huss. Carson Weingart here on the short side. That's the left. Handoff goes to Lamers. He's trying to pick a hole. Gets inside the 45. They're going to mark him at the 43 before he's slammed backwards. Van Zeeland in on that play once again. You can tell he's been in a lot. He's got blue pants and mostly a green jersey now with white specks. It's going to be 3rd and a long 4 for the Mustangs. Trying to get something established here. 7:36 left in the third.
Yeah, and this is a huge first down, because I believe if Little Chute does get a first down, this very well could lead to points, but a chance for Wrightstown to get the offense off the field.
Huss comes out to the right side. Going off to the left side, that's Logan Lex. He's in motion to the right. Handoff goes to Lamers. Lamers tries to crash forward. He's not going to get much. Wrightstown doing a nice job stay at home, not falling for the motion. In there in the stop, Andrew Lamers getting off that pile. And Little Chute will have to send out the punt team.
You almost wonder, is this a situation where you run a fake and see if Wrightstown is prepared? Because those are the little plays that could dictate a game like this.
Yeah, and so much of it depends on the snap, too. What's coming back?
Do you see a little opening? Does it get right to where you want it? And can someone make a block, too?
Yeah, Michael Rambo is the long snapper. Tate Huss standing around his own 47. You got Van Zeeland standing back at his own 17. Snap's a good one. Huss will just kick it away. Coming down, fair catch called for, made at the 12-yard line. 6:25 left in the third. Still no score between Wrightstown and Little Chute.
Great job by Wrightstown. Their defense held, had one big run against them, but didn't flinch, and they were able to hold on the next set of downs.
Well, we'll see how it comes out. We saw quarterback Reed Romanesco for the Tigers that first series. Let's see if they mix it up a little bit. We saw a lot of direct snap taking place. Well, Romanesco still in there. He's got the three backs behind him. Yeager, Renard, and Van Zeeland. Going straight back is Romanesco looking. He's just going to fling it as far as he can. Ball goes up. Huss has it and falls down at about the 49-yard line. They sent out the fullback, Sam Hayes, just straight out from the tight end position, ran him straight down the field, trying to find the seam, but the ball hung up a little bit. And there were a couple defensive backs there. Huss was just the up one. He could grab it and fall down at the 49.
Very uncharacteristic out of Wrightstown. Throwing a long bomb on first down deep in their own territory, having Romanesco just throw it where he hasn't been the main passer all game, too. So you look at that situation, they are saved on the fact that Little Chute went down the ground. I mean, he wasn't able to maintain his possession because there was a big opportunity for the Mustangs to get a huge return on that interception.
Yeah, great job, too, staying at home for Little Chute and not getting sucked into the run. Peters in motion, handoff will go. DeBruin has it this time. He trots out toward the left side, runs a man over, gets down to the 44. Van Zeeland there on the stop. Also helping out on the tackle was Luke Renard. I'll give him 5 on that one. That's what DeBruin does very well. You see him, the way he bounces that to the outside. The hole isn't there. He's not afraid to take it a different direction. See Bennett Jansen checking into the offense. 2 receivers, Peters and Huss going out to the right side. Weingard left side. DeBruin in the backfield with Van Asten. DeBruin going to try the right side this time. He's got some running room. He'll carry Van Zeeland with him inside the 40 down to about the 39.
And there's that big first down that Little Chute was unable to do in their last possession.
That's a big check. Let's see if they can establish some stuff. You know, Little Chute's been known as a passing team despite having an 1,100-yard rusher last year when they went to the state semifinals. But they have a very nice mixed offense. Rob Hendrickson came on board this year as the offensive coordinator. Longtime friend of Coach Ted Evers. Van Asten set. He'll roll out toward his left, looking for some place to go. No, he's got a man open, just can't get the ball to him. Now tries to put it in a tight space, and it falls away. Renard on the defense. They were trying to get it into Effa, who caught one back in the first half. Effa was open earlier, but Van Asten didn't see him as he was rolling out to his left side.
Tough throw to do, knowing that you have this possession because of a turnover. The last thing you want to do is turn the ball over right back.
Yeah, and being that Van Asten is a right-handed quarterback, you're rolling to your left, have to throw across your body. Tough to get the shoulders square when you're doing that. 5:23 left in this third quarter. Still no score between Wrightstown and Little Chute. 2nd and 10. Van Asten looks at 2 receivers on the wide side. That's the left. Instead, we'll go the handoff to DeBruin. He'll go straight ahead. He's got some running room. Spins around down to the 25-yard line.
So we were talking about how the offensive line would wear down for Wrightstown on the defense of Little Chute. Right now you're seeing the Little Chute offensive line starting to drag down this defensive front for Wrightstown.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Wrightstown's been very stout all year. Quick snap going ahead to DeBruin, looking into the pile. The scrum will catch up to him after a gain of about 2 or 3. See Van Zeelen once again getting off that pile. He's had a terrific day. He had 13 tackles against Denmark. He was also the leading tackler last year for the Tigers, had 106 tackles. These two teams actually met in the playoffs last year at level 3, and it was Little Chute winning that one, 28-14. 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs. Clock running, 4:32 left in the third. Van Asten drops straight back, taking a look, fakes, now steps up in the pocket, looking for someplace to go. He'll be collected from behind. It'll be a loss of about 2 or 3 yards on that one.
Van Asten had to realize that's a long time in the pocket. Sooner or later, someone's going to get off their blocker. And
Joe Hella that time, yep.
And the fact that you're lasting for like 5-6 seconds, you have to be aware if you don't see anyone open, you have to take off a little bit earlier or just throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's part of a sophomore quarterback too, that decision-making process, to see that, to know, to get that feel back there. And Rob Hendrickson was saying, that Cade, a student of the game, he comes into the Monday tape sessions. He's already got questions of his own. He's been watching the tape. 3rd and 10 now for the Mustangs. Ball at the 25, rolling out to the left is Van Asten. Has to step inside the rush, fires it, and it's going to be a low pass. Is it caught? Nope. Bounces away. Thinking Carson Weingard trying to sell it to the officials. None of them are buying it, though. So it's going to be a 4th and 10. And this is really probably too far for a field goal. Carter Pinnenberg probably beyond his range. So, and you're too short for a punt. So are you going to, you're going to give it a go. Cade Van Asten and the offense are still out there.
A huge opportunity for Wrightstown where you thought Little Chute was going to run right down into the end zone. Here's your opportunity to wipe out that bad pass in your last offensive possession and have a chance to take the lead yourself.
We talked about Ryan Verstegen playing mostly defense. He's in on offense this time. Flanked out on the left, along with Tate Huss. Van Asten looking, fires it out, gets it out, and trying to get there, and falling short of the first down. Yeah, DeBruin got the swing pass out of the backfield, but got about 8 or 9 yards, just could not make that one. It looked like his feet gave way a little bit too.
Hard to go down in that last yard knowing that you almost had the first down and just being yanked to the ground. Tough situation, but a great job by Wrightstown to hold on that possession.
17-yard line is where the Tigers will take over. 3:25 left in the third. Still waiting for our first score in this game. Reed Romanesco under center. T formation behind him. Handoff will go. That's going to be Yeager. He's got some running room. He's out to the 40. He's going to be chased down by Lamer, shoved out of bounds around the 43, 44-yard line. And he just patiently waited for a spot, then bolted through that hole and had a big gain.
Well, right away on one play, Wrightstown has changed the complexion of the position game now. And now you're thinking if you can't get a first down, at least you can try to pin Little Chute. But I believe in their minds they're looking at points after being so close of trailing this game.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers for Wrightstown so far in this one. 1st and 10, their own 40. Handoff goes again to Yeager. Yeager pushes forward. He's going to get, 4 yards or so. Glauderman's on the stop from his defensive end position. Good size for a defensive end, 6 feet, 220 pounds listed. Inside 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Somebody looking to get on the scoreboard. We won't finish like this with the overtime. But now 2nd and 6. Romanesco this time hands off, third back through. That, once again, is that Van Zeelen? It's getting kind of tough to tell. It looks like Van Zeelen. It is. Jeremy Van Zeelen has the first down in Little Chute territory. And to mark it at the 47. First and 10 in Little Chute territory. Wrightstown starting to make some noise on this offensive series.
Yeah, you can really tell the jerseys now. Who are the ball carriers?
Romanesco set once again. Snap goes through. That's going to be Yeager. Yeager bounces outside. He's got some running room. He has another first down to about the 37-yard line. Huss shoves him out of bounds.
Great opportunity now for Wrightstown to come up with points. I mean, you're starting to gash right through Little Chute the way they did coming off that interception.
They're going to mark it at the 35. Another big gain for Ben Yeager. He's had 4 games of over 100 yards so far this year. Biggest one, 164 against Fox Valley Lutheran. Won that one 28-26, or 26-24, excuse me. 2 minutes left in this third period. Handoff goes again to Yeager. Yeager's going to be bounced around and met at the line of scrimmage. Now, he didn't make the tackle, but the guy who really started that was Nathan Hetpes. He was on the ground and held his spot. And when you're your defensive lineman, a lot of times you won't have the tackle totals. But if you hold your gap and let the linebackers get there, you're doing your job.
That's your job. I mean, it's not about getting the tackles. It's making it easier for the linebackers because that's their job, to hunt down the ball carriers. So that's your number one goal, and that's all the coaches care about when they look at the game film.
Yep, don't get blown out of your spot. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Tight formation all the way around. Handoff goes. This is going to be Van Zeelen. He crashes forward. Maybe picks up 5. Well, they're going to mark it 4. They're marking about the 31.
I think it's safe to say 4 down territory here for Wrightstown.
Yeah, Hitbus in there. Bennett Jansen also in there on the stop. 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Final minute of this third period. These two teams have been playing between the 20s all night. On the 3rd and 6, probably 4 down territory for Wrightstown. Handoff goes in the inside. Van Zeelen looking for someplace to go. Escapes the tackle, but he's going to be held up before he gets to the chain. Gets to the marker. They're going to mark him down around the 27-yard line. Little misdirection inside handoff.
I think Wrightstown will just let this clock go out and worry about this play in the fourth quarter.
They're gathering up. We're inside 20 seconds left in this third period. Yeah, there's no urgency there. And they're going to head toward the other end. So we have wrapped up 3 quarters here at Little Chute. Still no score. So we're going to have an exciting fourth quarter to come. Stay with us. You are watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
Back at Little Chute, fourth quarter to come. Somebody's got to score in this one and win it eventually. So we're going to find out who that's going to be. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you.
Well, big moment here for Wrightstown. This is their best situation. 4th and 3. You're approaching the red zone. You get this first down. You feel you have momentum that could probably carry you into the end zone. But this is a big chance for Little Chute, just like Wrightstown did to them the previous possession.
Wrightstown coming up to the line, 4th and 2. Ball resting at the 27. Handoff goes, crashing forward. That's going to be Yeager, it looks like. It is, and he's got enough for the first down at around the 17. And that's just so tough to stop because in that T formation, you send 2 backs in that can pick up linebackers and safety, knock them out of the way, and your third back through has the opportunity. You're not sending wide receivers out there to draw D-backs.
Yeah, that was a lot of energy and just be able to push right through for that first down. And this is where you're starting to see the momentum possibly changing.
17-yard line. Umpire coming up, taking a look at the football. I think the center said, there's mud on this football. Well, yeah, that probably happens by this time. Set to work. Romanesco has it in tight. They go straight ahead. Let's see, we got the call on that one. Gain of about 5. 17-yard line. Another gain. You like that on first down. You can do a lot of things on 2nd and 5.
It didn't seem that they got a lot on that carry, but the fact that it was so quick is where that was just a sudden bolt.
Set to go. It's Van Zeelen getting the call. He'll try to slide in. Slips a little bit on the turf. Covered up right away at the 15. It'll leave a 3rd and 3. But you start to see those holes. We especially had the angle right here from the press box this time. That hole open up on the right side. Going to need a 2-down stop here if you're Little Chute. Tight ends both slammed against the linemen on each side for the Tigers. And the handoff, that's Yeager, and he's tripped up. No goal for Yeager that time.
Tough decision here for Wrightstown. What do you want to do? Do you want to go into the air and where you haven't gone to the air at all on this drive, or do you go in the situation of running right through, trusting Yeager and get that first down run at these 3 longest yards of the game?
Yeah, that was Ryan Verstegen making the stop on that one. Came up from his linebacker spot. Here we go, 4th and 3. I don't think we need to say this is a big play for both teams, but we just did. Romanesco set, takes a look. Handoff goes straight ahead, and there'll be a stop. No go that time. Little Chute stands up on D. They went with Quincy Clister straight up the middle and no go at all. There was nothing there. Credit the internal part of that defensive line. Matthew Jansen, Nate Hitbus. Glaudeman's in there, and Verstegen came flying in from his linebacker spot.
An excellent blitz, being able to at least guess the play, and it proven big there, right, for the Little Chute. The fact that you get that stop on 4th down, you get the ball back, and now you get some momentum back involved, and maybe you can get one nice long drive and carry a touchdown or a field goal lead for the win.
Well, Little Chute gets it back. See if they can get something going. Cade Van Asten and company. The sophomore quarterback waiting for it. They hand off straight ahead. Nope, a quick little pitch going out to the outside. They get it out to Huss. Huss has some running room. He's still on his feet. Gets it all the way out to the 42-yard line. Excuse me, that's Tim Peters. Peters getting the ball. Peters, who coming into this game had 1 reception. That was for 4 yards, but a touchdown against Clintonville. Nicely moved that time. Van Asten doing that little move out to his right side, drawing the defender, and Peters right out there for the quick pitch.
Yeah, that's an excellent play that helps jumpstart this offense.
And they had the play action, too, to the Bruin going into the line, which sucked up a couple of the linebackers. 1st and 10, 41-yard line for Little Chute. This time they'll hand off to DeBruin. He'll crash forward. He's out to about the 45-yard line before he's bulldogged down. Van Zeelen there on the stop. Give him 4 yards on that one. Clock continuing to run. 8:34 left in this one. Quick movement. They hand it forward. Actually, it's Lamers at quarterback. Excuse me, that's not Van Asten. Lamers at quarterback. Nolan Lamers out there. I think somebody may have gotten They're going to call
well,
it too
Little
quick.
Chute tried rushing their offensive set there because they saw players running out for Wrightstown, but they weren't sure exactly where they were, and I think that was what caused them to jump start that offense.
Well, and sometimes, too, you've got guys who maybe flanker, and are you off the line of scrimmage? Are you covering up an end and an eligible receiver? All of those things.
And then when you hear, hey, we're hiking now. Wait, I'm not ready.
Yeah, just, is it on 2? And just, if you're doing that, it's never on 2. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Lost the 5 yards he gained on the first play. It's Nolan Lamers in getting the snaps. He'll take it himself. He's got some running ability. He slips a little bit, gets it up to the 45, up to midfield. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. And making that switch, you've got Lamers, who has that running ability, the top returning rusher for the Mustangs from 2018. Taking those snaps. Pretty much means you're not going to fling the ball downfield a whole lot. And now Van Asten comes back in.
A different look for Little Chute to try to get this offense another set of first downs. See if they can convert on this 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Lamer stays in the game. He's offset to the right of Van Asten. And Lamers will get the call. He'll bash in and bounce it out to the side to the right. He's got some running room down to the 40. Cuts it in, finally shoved out of bounds. And he's pushed out there by Alex Hoffman. But a big first down and great heads-up move by Nolan Lamers.
Yeah, realizing that you can be behind your lineman all day and he's not going to move. You need to bounce out, and that he did for a huge gain into Wrightstown territory.
Now they're down to the 37. Clock moving, 7:14 left. Both teams with all their timeouts. And Wrightstown wants a timeout. Their defense is discombobulated right now. So we're going to take a quick timeout too. 0-0, 7:05 left. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Well, if this isn't a way to have fun for $5 on a Friday night, I'll tell you. And if glad you could join us along the video stream, but try to get out to your local high school football game or other sporting event. See a lot of passion. The tickets are a heck of a lot cheaper than going to Lambeau.
Perhaps, and I'm sure parking. Oh, wait, you probably have to pay for parking, so don't worry about that. And the long way on the highway, depending which school you're going to go to, you may have to go to the highway, maybe or not. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot closer, and you get more of the community involvement from each of these schools as well.
That's what makes high school sports fun. 1st and 10, Cade Van Asten and the Little Chute Mustangs set up at the Wrightstown 37. Talking to the wide receiver way out there is Tate Huss. Got somebody in the short side. DeBruin's in the backfield. Quick pitch going out to Huss. He'll get it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Tries to cut up field. Gets inside the 35 down to about the 32. Put on the ground there by Luke Renard. I'm going to give him 4 yards on that. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tanner Effa comes back into the game.
But each team, once you pass the 40-yard line of your opponent, it gets a whole lot harder as each defense has ramped it up, not allowing another first down.
Yeah, Effa's taking the spot. Noah Craig was in at backfield, but we see him on the sidelines. He's got his left leg pretty well wrapped. You can tell he's going to be out for several games. They go off to DeBruin. He slides forward, gets inside the 30 down to the 28. Really lost some of his momentum when he's trying to feet on the slippery surface. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Mustangs as we're heading down toward the halfway point of this 4th quarter. These two teams have just gone after one another, and this is going to be one of these rivalries that you hope they can keep going in a non-conference situation. Now, there are a lot of great rivalries, and I think Wrightstown, Freedom, Little Chute, the games they've played over the last decade. 3rd and 2, ready to go. Van Asten We'll hand it straight ahead. DeBruin, oh, he's going to be close. Tate Huss has got it figured out. He's pointing as a first down right away. Let's see where they mark this one. Nothing fancy about that. They just slammed it forward with Jake DeBruin.
Say fourth down.
Yeah, fourth down, and boy, a little bit more than I thought. I'm going to say almost a full yard. So here's the Wrightstown defense opportunity to stand up. Another minute's gone by. We're down to 5 minutes left in this one. Don't forget, we go to overtime. We decide this. Everybody gets the ball, and you get an equal amount of chances. This one, nothing like the NFL, trying to figure out who gets what and who doesn't get the ball after the coin flip. And we're going to have a timeout called by Little Chute. They know this is a big play, so we're going to take a break too. No score. Little Chute and Wrightstown. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
Back at Little Chute, another score just coming in. Third quarter, Kaukauna leading Appleton East 14-3. That is a very big game in the VFA North. Remember, as that one has an inside track to qualifying for the playoffs. Good to see Appleton East bouncing back, too. That program's been down a little bit. New coaching staff, boy, they almost got Kimberly last Friday night. Failed on a two-point conversion, lost 35-34. Here, fourth down, a yard to go. Cade Van Asten standing back about 5 yards, waiting for the snap. Handoff will go straight ahead. DeBruin has it. He crashes forward. Van Asten pumps his fist. He knows. Nice little push by the Little Chute offensive line. Oh, the referee's going to look at it here a little bit. I thought DeBruin had it. They want to measure. Well, that mark is not as far up as I thought it might have been.
Yeah, it all depends where his knee did touch the ground while he was moving around. That we could not see due to the fact of...
There are just a lot of bodies there.
Of the scrum that was starting to develop during that pushing and shoving.
Another score for you out of the Bay Conference. Xavier leading Shono 14-7. That's getting toward the end of the first half. There you go. There's a first down. They measured it. It's all official now. 4:20 left in the third quarter. West Appear 35, Menasha 28. That one's getting exciting. There's your offensive showdown.
Yeah, the opposite form of this game.
Yeah. So 1st and 10, ball now down on the 27-yard line. Clock running, 4:36 left. Jake DeBruin is behind Cade Van Asten. Tate Huss is off on the right side. Rolling out toward his right is Van Asten, looking for some place to go with it. Still looking, flings it downfield. And is it caught? They're going to say it is caught. Tate Huss pulls it in off the ground. It looks like it's going to be enough for a first down around the 15-yard line. It is.
Risky pass, trying to roll off to the side, and it was weird because only his receiver was looking, and the defenders not so much.
Oh, and this is another thing. High school football is better than the NFL. We'd have one of those reviews on that right now. Somebody be throwing
maybe the ball might have touched the ground. I don't know.
Somebody be throwing a challenge flag.
We didn't get 20 high-definition zoomed-up views.
Yeah, that's right. The view we've got is the same one you've got on that.
Standard definition.
That's right. Two receivers off to the left side. This time Lamer's at quarterback. They're going to hand off to DeBruin. He slashes forward. He'll get maybe 3 or 4 yards before he's brought down by Alex Hoffman. Clock continues to run, 3:39 remaining.
So now that you're inside the 15, your goal right now is just to drain this time off the clock and maybe get in a situation for a field goal if you're unable to punch this one in.
Yeah, and the big thing is, you know, Wrightstown's offense is not built on quick comeback. And the coaching staff we were talking to before the game mentioned that. That was one of the problems when you got down to freedom last Friday. You have a 12-14 play drive. That eats up a lot of time. Van Asten back at quarterback. He's looking to throw, looking toward the left side, now right side. Nothing there. Still in trouble. Now goes out to his left. Rolling out, trying to get to the sideline, heading there, and he's going to stumble toward the sideline and get up there. Picks up a couple of yards. And that's the education of Cade Van Asten. Early in the season, he probably would have tried to fit that into a tight spot like the pass we saw to Tate Huss just a few plays ago. Well, give him a yard or two. It's going to be third and about 4.5. Ryan Verstegen checks back into the offense. Clock is stopped because Van Asten went out of bounds. 2:56 left. Certainly 4-down territory here. Pinnenberg's 10 of 11 on extra point kicks, so just 0-1 on field goals, though. Handoff goes to DeBrew, and he steps over a man. He'll pick up a couple of yards, maybe.
Well, and here brings the big decision. Do you go for it here? Now, worst case scenario is if you go for it or kick the field goal and neither work out for you, you're probably looking at overtime.
Yeah, Carter Pinnenberg's coming out. He's going to give it a try on the field goal, and they're going to set this one up. That will be about a 26-yard attempt. Van Asten is holding. Clock running, 2:21 remaining. Waiting for the snap. It's a good one. Kick is up. It's a low one, and it goes through, and it is good. 26-yard field goal by Carter Pinnenberg. Gives Little Chute the lead at 3-0 over Wrightstown. So we finally have a score, and we'll take a break right now. You are watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Make the blue one happen. Or maybe the white one happen. Make that was easy happen. Make we can take my new car happen. And definitely make double takes in the garage happen. When it's time to upgrade your ride, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online at foxcu.org so you can make "Dang, I feel good in this car" happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Back we are. 3-0 game here in Little Chute. So now the exciting part comes, Zach. See if the defense and they get a big victory, put together a drive. They have all three. Now they've got 2 timeouts remaining. They took one earlier to get their defense reset.
Still plenty of time. This game is far from over.
Pinnenberg getting set to kick. Kick is away. It's a long one. Goes all the way back. Jack Van Zeelen has it, and he's actually in the end zone, so he can't return it. In high school, you can't bring it out of the end zone. Once the ball breaks the plane, you head out. And
which in the long run, I think, benefits Wrightstown, knowing that you're going to be taking time off the clock, and it's so difficult to get back to the original line that you would have had if you kept the touchback.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Toward the end of the first half, we saw a lot of running backs throwing passes. Well, set to go is Wrightstown. Yeah, they've got the 2 backs there. So we've got Yeager and Van Zeelen back there. Yeager throws it up, and it's caught. Gain of maybe 5 yards.
Got to start a drive one way, positive 5 yards. And as we saw, Yeager throwing after Romanesco threw that interception there, one of the last few drives.
I'm going to give him 6 on that. Ball moves out to the 26-yard line. Set to work. Two backs getting set, but it goes back to Yeager. Yeager looking to throw. He's going to throw it a long way. Looking toward it and taken away and slapped to the ground. Back there, Nolan Lammers playing defensive back. I think that was Quincy Klister. Back there trying to run the long pattern. And again, we see that's quite an arm on Yeager.
Continues, and you're wondering if they should have gone to this a little bit earlier, but a great job by Yeager there, giving him an opportunity. Still 2 more tries to get a first down here. Plenty of time. Time is not much of a factor yet.
1:58 remaining in this one. 3rd and 5. The downs are more important. You got to find a first down here if you're Wrightstown. Little Chute defense trying to get the crowd into it. Waiting for the snap. Yeah, it's Yeager getting it once again. They're going to send the man down the side, and the pass is wide of the mark.
Was also a hit on the end part of that throw, which might have also dictated the distance of the ball.
Yeah, Andrew Lamers was out in the pattern. Looking for a stop here. Little Chute trying to, they'll give up 3 yards. They don't want to give up 4, though. Stay away from that first down. 1:53 left. The incomplete passes. Clock moving very slowly. Van Zeeland coming out to the left side. Along with him is DeClean. I almost bet Yeager's going to get the snap once again. He does. Looks across the middle. Van Zeeland has it. He's out around the 40. Brought down immediately by DeBruin and others.
Excellent crossing route, and also a good job by freeing up another receiver to give Yeager the opportunity to find a receiver to keep this drive going.
Yeah, and Peters, I think, got a Charlie horse in his thigh because he got up. He's trying to stretch out real fast. They're going to mark the ball at the 42, 1st and 10. Clock now running, 1:40 remaining. 2 receivers go out to the left side. Yeager taking a look. Being bothered, trying to go someplace. He's going to go deep. Van Zeeland's wide open. He's got it. He's got the ball and falls down at the 12. The defensive back had fallen down, and Van Zeeland was there, and he got the ball, and you could tell he was constantly just make the catch, make the catch, make the catch. And but couldn't keep his feet. They're going to mark the ball just inside the 11.
And that is a tough break. I mean, first, it's a great catch and throw right now for Wrightstown, but you were that close to coming up with a touchdown, and now these are going to be a hard set of downs coming up for the Tigers offense.
Once again, they're setting up. They're going to give it to Yeager. Yeager takes it on the run. No, excuse me, that's Quincy Klister. Moves inside the 10 down to the 8. And a timeout wanted by Wrightstown. That will be their second. Now they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Mark the ball, let's see, at the 9 or at the 8? They're going to mark it at the 8. Whoa, I mean, that throw by Yeager, that was impressive. I mean, it's, you know, you put your best athlete in a position to make plays, and certainly Ben Yeager is that for Wrightstown. But we think of him mostly as a running back, and he has gone to the air a lot today since Little Chute has come up and crammed the line of scrimmage.
And that's something you don't think about when you look at a running back like Yeager, where you can put him in there in that situation and throw. But this is a type of offense that can let him thrive in that if he's able to make those throws.
Big stand for the defense here. Wrightstown with 1 timeout remaining.
Now the question is, do you just ground and pound, or you try to use Yeager, run some sort of option to give him the opportunity? Do you throw or run?
Well, let's find out right here. They have got Reed Romanesco back in the lineup, so they're going to put their full house T formation. Van Zeeland, Klister, and Yeager in the backfield behind Romanesco. Van Zeeland gets the call. He's got some running room. He gets close to the goal line. He might have enough for a first down right down there by the 1. Let's see where they mark this one. Nope, it's going to be 3rd and 1. And time is going to be called by the officials. They're going to say it's 3rd down, start the clock. 54 seconds remaining in this one. Wrightstown trying to make a comeback victory. We had no scoring for the first 47 minutes or so, or the first 45 minutes, but a whole bunch of it here toward the end. Goes in, it's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown, Wrightstown.
Big touchdown run there by Wrightstown. Coming off the almost impossible pass you were expecting at that moment to give him the opportunity and the lead late in this game.
I think it's Quincy Clister got that one. 1 yard run, but boy, that pass that set that up. Now, Wrightstown was looking at a pretty bad situation there.
Even before that, the pass that Yeager had to at least get that fourth down, get that first down conversion.
Yep. And this will bring in Andrew Lamers to try the extra point. Romanesco to spot it. Kick is up, and it's booted well through. Lamers has that one. 7-3. Wrightstown back out in front.
So now if you're Little Chute, you have to figure out how can you get your little magic at late in this game, either on a kick return or you have a deep pass play or someone figured out. It's not unlikely. We've seen these scenarios happen so many times in the collegiate, professional, and high school level, but it's hard to believe that you have these quick scoring drives, knowing how we saw for almost 4 full quarters, and especially for Wrightstown that was unable to do something like this last week.
Yep, exactly. And so then they found a way to do it, and you can see a couple of wrinkles they threw into the offense. So what a comeback by Wrightstown. Like we said, they had a third and fourth down sitting in their own territory there with less than 2 minutes left. Had to figure out a way to get it done, but a big pass to Van Zeeland, and where a defensive back fell down because, as with anything, coaches say, nobody gets behind you, nobody gets behind you. Well, when you fall down, suddenly it's left wide open.
Well, good news for Little Chute, if you're going to score, you're going to win this game.
Yeah, that's just it. There aren't any 4-point plays out there. Comes down. Lamers has it around the 10, looking for some place to go. Gets into the scrum, gets out to about the 30.
Well, now you go into your bag of tricks. What are you able to call here? You have 30 seconds. You would like to get near the 40-yard line with about 15. So you have half this time to get to the opposing 40-yard line.
Yeah, and you've got all your timeouts left, too. So you can call it. You can stop the clock. The chains will set, but you can make that stop. And you've got to, first of all, find a way to get downfield. You see really complete prevent defense going on by Wrightstown. Van Asten looks, they're going to swing it out to DeBruin. DeBruin looking to see if he can get toward the sideline. Nope, he's tripped up at the 36. That's going to be a gain of 5, and there's going to be a timeout by Little Chute just that quickly. We saw DeBruin pick up a lot of yardage on that play a little bit earlier tonight, but good job by Wrightstown.
Which is why they went right back to that play, because they knew what was successful. But you take 10 seconds off the clock, and for a gain of 4 yards, that's not going to win this. So now you have to go deep in these next few plays.
Yeah, I think Jake DeBruin's cramped up a little bit too. He's coming off, and Nolan Lamers in. You know, he's, as you do at these levels, you get down to Division III, Division IV, Division V, and so forth, that these guys are playing both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're up there in Kimberly and Fond du Lac. You've got guys that play on one side of the ball unless you've got a wrinkle play. But here, you know, these guys have been going for the full 48.
You almost wonder, you're going to display or see some sort of hook and ladder, something that maybe they've practiced for this moment.
Yeah, with high school teams, boy, there are a lot of moving parts in something like that, too. You're taking your chances. First of all, though, you need about 6 yards, get a first down, give yourself some more. We've got 20 and a half seconds left. Cade Van Asten calling out the signals. He's straight back in the pocket looking for the quick throw. He's going to put it up high, looking for it, and knocked away. Two defensive backs back there. They were going down toward Peters. That was around the 35-yard line. Nice ball throw by Cade Van Asten, but a lot of traffic down there.
You're going to have to throw that same type of play again on this one.
Yeah, now you've got a third down. 14.7 left, so you burned 6 seconds off on that one.
Yeah, with time now, you're not even concerned about the downs.
Yeah, you've probably got, given the distance, you've probably got 2 plays left in this. Lamer set up next to Van Asten. We've got Tate Huss on the short side here. That's the right side. Van Asten looking, fires it out to Huss. Huss able to pull it in, and it is a catch, and it falls out of bounds. It's going to be short of the first down, so we'll have a 4th and 2 with 9.6 seconds left. You might still have 2 plays in you.
If you get a quick 20-yard pass, I mean, that's what you're going to be looking at. So you get to the opposing 40.
Yeah, timeout wanted by Little Chute. Okay, if you're Rob Hendrickson, the offensive coordinator, you look at the bottom of the bucket and find that play someplace that you've been saving up for 5 weeks that nobody has seen on tape.
This is the type of game that you would use it for, too, against Wrightstown. But as for Wrightstown, just don't do anything stupid, as you saw with Little Chute. As you mentioned, don't let anyone get behind you. Just continue to be in this prevent defense, because then you don't have to worry about that. But don't let someone get a quick slant route and then you lose ground.
Yeah, and if you're Cade Van Asten, you've got to have the clock in your head, too. You've got 9.6 seconds left. You can't let this play take 10 seconds. You've got to find a way to have something released quickly enough, and so you don't have a lot of time to spend and kind of dance around back in the pocket. You've got 1 timeout left if you're Little Chute. 7-3 our score. All happened in the final 2.5 minutes of this game. There we go. Cade Van Asten set to go. He's got 2 receivers out to the left side. He'll roll out toward his left, fire it out. And Huss has to get out of bounds. He's racing. He gets there with 2.4 seconds left on the clock.
It works, as you had the defense and prevent. They were worried about for a deeper pass and barely got out just in time to get the clock stopped.
Oh, you think that was prevent? Watch this now coming up. Ball is at the 47-yard line of Little Chute. That's kind of immaterial at this point. So let's see what they've got. This is going to be the final play of the game, barring a defensive penalty. Got receivers all over the place. Van Asten set to work, 1st and 10, but that's not important anymore. Final play of the game. Van Asten falls and he slips on the turf. Getting in there. I was trying to find out the number there, and they're kind of tough to see. Joe Hella may have been the guy who got in there. But it tripped up Van Asten just enough where he slipped and he hit the turf, and that ends things. So that's our final tonight. Wrightstown scores late. They managed to hold off Little Chute 7-3. We'll be back to wrap this one up and talk about it right after this on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Back one final time here at Little Chute. Wrightstown scores in the final minute to beat Little Chute 7-3. Much more of a defensive battle than we expected on this one. Dick Lipinski, Zach Morris with you to wrap things up. And quickly a look at the scoring. It all happened in the last 2.5 minutes, 2:11 left. Carter Pinnenberg's 26-yard field goal put Little Chute up 3-0. But then a big bomb that went from Ben Yeager down to Jeremy Van Zeelen, covered about 50 yards down to the 10. Wrightstown managed to punch it in at that point with less than 40 seconds left and won this one 7-3. So, Zach, heck of a ball game. Two great teams that knew that they had to win this one to stay in the hunt for the conference title in the Northeastern Conference. And, well, Wrightstown prevails in this one.
Yeah, both teams knew they had to play their hardest to be in contention. And at least for Wrightstown, they made that one big play that we haven't really seen all game. Wrightstown, Little Chute, finally had a drive with a couple good plays that got them into field goal range, got the field goal, but that big gaffe on defense with a defensive player falling down, letting that pass happen for Wrightstown.
Yeah, and that's it. So, again, 7-3 the score on this one. Wrightstown now moves to 5-1. Little Chute, meanwhile, at 4-2 on the season. So next week, where are we going to be? Next week, well, we're going to be high school football. It's going to be VFA time. Hortonville Polar Bears, Oshkosh North Spartans will meet up in a VFA South game, and so hope you can join us from Titan Stadium next week. And also have the Cambria Friesland Hilltoppers, I don't get to say that school very often, against the Lord Academy Knights. That one also taking place. That's an 8 p.m. start at Titan Stadium. Hope you can join us on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream. Fox Communities Credit Union helping us out with sponsorship along with Myron Construction, Creative Imprint, and our friends at Julian Strategic Alliance Group. Thank you much for their support. So again, on behalf of Zach Morris and Adam Van Zeelen, who did a fine job on the camera, I'm Dick Lipinski. Final score, Wrightstown 7, Little Chute 3. Have a great weekend, everybody, and have a great evening.